Hey guys, I'm Dante and welcome back to The Artist Eye. Today's episode is dedicated to utility belts. That's right, a nice individual by the name of Christina suggested I try to make a believable utility belt for a superhero or supervillain. So, with that challenge in mind, we're going to start where we always start off with. Research. There are hundreds of hero stories, and in those stories there are thousands of heroes. Characters like Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Deadpool, even Sailor Moon. So I decided to go to the one place that can satisfy my need for superhero knowledge. Television. Okay. Alright. I think I got it. Okay. I think we're good. After my research, there was something I noticed. Superhero styles. Now what I mean by that is this. You have Casey Jones. He is the everyday man superhero. He fights with billy clubs and cricket bats and knee pads. Then you got Batman, the rich man superhero. He has access to gadgets like grappling belts, bat-based vehicles, and lots of money, of course. Now, both of them fight for justice, and both of them love to beat up thugs, but they differ in style. So for this episode, we're going to do two projects. We're going to make two utility belts. The rich man's utility belt, with gizmos and gadgets that are really cool and which we could all have, and the poor man's utility belt, which is made from bits and bobs around the house. Two projects for two different characters. Good guys or bad guys. So let's talk some basic ideas. What goes on the belt? Maybe a gun. Gas gun, grappling gun, taser gun, laser gun. What about lockpicks? Hammers, tools, high-tech lockpicks, buzz saws to cut down walls, med kits, hypodermic spray, box of bandages, a box of Q-tips. Think of as many ideas as possible to lay on the table. So we got the research, we got the ideas, now we need the material. Luckily I have this. This is my box of junk. Would you like to see my junk? Everyone wants to see my junk. This magical container has all the bits and bobs I've collected over the years for various art projects. Come take a look. First things first, miscellaneous toy guns. Cheap guns, dollar guns, guns from a thrift store. I love this guy, I might use him. Even cheap water guns that can be painted. You could probably use the handle for something if the gun itself isn't to your liking. Broken toys, knockoff toys, find these anywhere. My friends gave me a few of their old Gundam toys, I can take those apart. These I got at a thrift store for really cheap, that's really cool, look at those giant hands. Even these little fun guys can be used. Look at that, how can you not like that? How about some miscellaneous cloth? Old jeans, and as I mentioned before, pleather. You can get a lot of this stuff really cheap at any fabric store. It's great for wrapping around handles of fake tools, making a mask out of, or even just using it for a nice texture. This stuff can go a long way. And finally, my personal favorite, thrift store goodness. Cheap toys, 99-cent toys, 99-cent toys. Water gun containers, these are great, look at that. I love the shapes of these, I love the use of them. Even miscellaneous plastic, PVC piping, whatever you can. This is great for all the weird projects you need to think of. So, without further ado, I say we get started. So here we are now at the drawing table. As I said before, I like this gun. This is a Beyblade Dragons. I guess it's a Beyblade gun that attaches to a video game. I bought this in a 99-cent store for super cheap. I figured I could use it as a laser gun, as a crossbow. It has spinning pieces, ratchet pieces, all these little cool bits. Why I got this, I also picked up this. It is a attachment to a larger play set. It has a little plug-in for the bottom right there. It has mechanical details, sticker mechanical details. But what really caught my attention was this open hatch here, which I guess a figurine will go inside. Because inside it has a sticker with a radiation warning label. And it says that a full body suit is required in this area. I don't know, that just kind of caught my attention. Now, originally, I was going to take this and this. I was going to remove the wheel in the back and just glue this sucker right on. Kind of like a energy pack to go with this gun. And maybe I was going to add a nozzle in the front. So it's going to be a laser gun. But then, I took it apart and I realized something really cool about this. Well, number one, you can remove all the little wheels to the side. But that the battery case is a square edge. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the front. And this was just a mistake. I bought these with a whole different idea in mind. But once I got them, I took them apart and realized other opportunities. This ratchet also comes in handy. Maybe I can make it a dial to select different settings for the gun. So that's pretty cool right there. At the same store, I also picked up this little toy nozzle. It's a solid piece. It looks like it belongs to maybe a cooking play set. I also came across this jug. This jug was actually in my house from a while back. I think it was for like syrup or something, as you could tell by the brown color. I washed it out, painted it white, and then I realized these go together quite nice. So I'm thinking we could use this for the poor man's gun. Sorry, for the poor man's utility belt. So rather than carry a lockpick of some type, he carries a vial of maybe acid or a vial of some kind of what's it called? I don't know, a vial of something bad. Poison, there we go, a vial of poison. So you put a sticker on that, we paint it nice colors, and he carries this on his waistband at all times. Now, aside from all of this, there's also a lot of miscellaneous things you could come across, such as these nice little plastic containers for paint, Play-Doh containers, or in this case, a knockoff Play-Doh container, so it has no logo on it. These are nice. You could paint them silver, make them into metal canisters. Play set pieces. Maybe I could add this onto the dial of the gun to once again turn it into a setting thing, so you can pick different settings of the gun. Heck, even these. My sister was going through the recyclables, and these are Snapple bottles. Snapple bottle caps, actually. They have no engraving. They are just, all the logos are painted on, which means you could also paint these over and use them to add various details to any objects without worrying about seeing made in China on them. Also, while rummaging through the box of junk, I came across this, a used up soda bottle, and this, a used up Clorox container. I'm going to use the top from the soda bottle, attach it to the Clorox container, and make an air tank. Why, do you ask? Because I also came across this bad boy, miscellaneous tubing. With the addition of a screw, will plug directly into the bottom of my gas gun. Speaking of plugins, you can't always find stuff you need, so sometimes you have to make it. This right here was a simple slice of cardboard, cut it up, taped it up, and made a nice little box. I'm going to make several boxes, and these will plug directly into the gas gun and act as cartridges. So once again, if you can't find it, make it. Now for some super fast time lapse. Okay guys, let's jump right into it. One wardrobe and makeup change later, and here we have with the rich man's utility belt with gas gun. Even comes with a little pressure control, so you can adjust just how hard your rubber bullets shoot. The gas gun itself is hooked up to a canister on my back with a little dial on the inside to know how much pressure you have, all attached by leather straps. And we have these, a little belt that carries all of the different smoke bombs. Blue for smoke screen, green for knockout gas, and white for rubber bullets that fit nicely into the gun itself, which you can then animate later on with a nice after effect of smoke, or even add a bullet if you want. I even went the extra mile of making some miscellaneous parts. These are just cardboard tubes wrapped in reflective paper to make up these kind of fake med packets. And no utility belt is complete without, of course, some miscellaneous rope I just picked up from a cheap corner store as well. The straps are nothing more but miscellaneous straps from luggages and belts, all found deep within the box of junk. And that's pretty much it. Sometime later, we have ourselves a nice looking superhero weapon. Fight the bad guys, or fight the good guys, depends if you want to be a villain or not. And not too shabby. Okay guys, before I close out this video, I'm going to show you the props once again with a bit more detail and explanation as to what went into them. Once again, here is the gas gun for the superhero. I added random detailing on the sides with little plastic ladders, or just any pieces of miscellaneous plastic I could use to cover up the made in China details. This scope on top, I hope it comes off clearly with the reflective metal painting on it. This scope is actually a small buckle from a Batman utility belt from the Christopher Nolan Batman films. And you remember those Snapple bottles I mentioned? Well, I glued on and then screwed on this Snapple bottle at a certain distance from the gun. This gap allowed me to create a little holster that it clipped right into. Added some paint details, different color code details to show you exactly how powerful the gun is going to shoot. And this cool metallic nozzle is actually the top of just a drinking bottle. I think it was orange juice or something. So that's just the gun right there. Now, the gas canister. Well, you saw me start the creation of the gas canister. Once again, Kleenex bottle, the top of a soda bottle. This right here is actually a old Kodak film container. If you guys know what Kodak film is, then you're old. This is just a nozzle piece on top. This is a miscellaneous piece of plastic, kind of like a cap or a small plastic cup. And the details inside I pointed out before are actually just a printout of a power gauge I found online. I took some miscellaneous metal I had in the house. This is aluminum metal. Do be careful, aluminum metal is dangerous. It could be sharp, you could cut yourself. But then again, you could use regular plastic too. This little cup I made, this kind of like cup with a slit in it, is exactly where the Snapple bottle attaches into. It just clips right down, right into it. And once again, all of these were found deep in the box of junk and in the corners of my own home. I'm going to actually end the video here. The next part, coming up hopefully by next week, will be the second half in which we show the poor man's utility belt. What's it going to detail? What's it going to have? I'll keep that a secret for now. You guys have to wait till that video comes up. Once again, guys, I am Dante. This has been The Artist's Eye, where we try to view the world just a little differently, and I hope to see you again. Later.